How long have you been on YouTube for?
I've been on YouTube for, probably about 7-8 years. Probably the same time as Eddsworld's been up. So Eddsworld's been on YouTube for about 7 years and just been an entity for at least 10, 12 years. I don't think anyone assumed YouTube would be this big hit thing. It was just somewhere to put your stuff and get it seen. And then it was massive. And then then people started meeting up IRL in real life and seeing things, and then we could make money out of it and merchandise, but capitalize on things.
Capitalism.
But the main side of it is YouTube created this wonderful community. It's really nice. Everyone can get together. They can do their own thing and share their ideas and show what they were really talented and good at doing. Ed himself did all these really lovely cartoons, and everyone really liked and engaged with them. And in turn, we met loads of other people who were really great at music, and then they started making music with us for our cartoons, and other animators and other drawers and filmmakers, and it's just amazing. I don't think there's one friend I don't have who's not a YouTuber. It's a little creepy, but it's the way it is.
Yeah. Does that mean you indoctrinate people? Would you encourage people to get involved in YouTube if they are not?
I mean, we just put a bag over their head, we put them into a dark room, a couple of candles, paddle them a bit, and then they're a YouTuber. That's how it works. There's another ceremony if you want ad revenue as well. That's a little darker. But no, it just kind of works out that way. I think everyone talks about their community within their community. So, yeah.
Of course. And obviously Ed was quite a staple in the community. And
yeah, that was a big reaction when he died. Not just because he was my friend, because I had no idea how much people cared about him outside of that, and it was humbling. And like I said, it was a community, and they really showed how much they cared, and I'm still shocked, gobsmacked by it all, but very thankful to know that people cared that much.
Was that the motivation to keep the channel going, even unfortunately?
I don't think it was even a question. It was that weird obligation. It's like, yeah, we kind of have to keep this going now. I was like, okay. And then Tom decided to do the Kickstarter and went, okay. And then we got the money and went, oh, okay, now we have to do it. Oh, okay. I guess we should do it. So, yeah, it kept going. And we've run out of Kickstarter money, but we're still here. And we're still going. Just trying to work out how to keep going now. So, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a huge show of support to continue something going, especially after you lose someone so important, right?
Yeah. And everyone wants it to look like the old style. And they keep trying to say, it's very hard to get people to do it for the right price. That exact style and the time it takes. Animation is a long, hard process. It's a hard process. I'm going to leave it like that.
Because this is flash animation, isn't it?
Yes. And if it's not hard enough actually doing the animation, Flash itself crashes every now and then and decides to lose all your work. So that's great. Thanks Adobe.
Thanks, Adobe. They're not sponsoring us, so it's okay if we bag them out.
No, we might be moving to Toon Boom. They don't crash.
Hot tip.
Yeah.
Would you reckon, I know this is a bit of a side question, but obviously losing someone at a young age is quite big for young people, and do you think continuing this was actually a really nice way just to keep in memory, and would you encourage other people to celebrate their friends like this in creative ways, or?
It's odd. For the first couple of years, I mean, it's been 4 years now, the first few years I tried to look at them as two separate entities. That it was his little baby, and we were trying to keep it going because it's something he built, and we wanted it to still be a thing. It was the one thing that it was his legacy essentially, which is the Kickstarter. So I tried to keep it separate in my head, and the more and more it kind of went on, it's like these aren't separate; they are one and the same. It's him; he is the same thing. And at that point, I basically went, "No, I'm out. Too emotionally difficult." And now I'm back on the side of they're two separate things, but maybe they can work nicely together. And it's a nice way of keeping his memory alive. And anytime I think of something or something we can do with it, I imagine his reaction immediately. So it's nothing to do with just it's a business. I immediately think, what would he think about it? I imagine he'd have a very heavy sigh about these shirts. But sometimes it's remembering what the fun stuff is, and I think he'd at least laugh about it. So.
And Ed's mum's here, even though she's jumped out of the video.
She's hidden away. She ran away.
So Ed's family is obviously very supportive as well.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, since Tom's relinquished control of it, it sounds like a demonic, like a big deal. No, Tom was obviously the main driving force of Legacy. Him and Eddie, they did a really great job, and now they're focusing on his stuff, Tom's Scar and our stuff movie, and he needs time to heal because he was basically holding the whole shock of Eddsworld all on his shoulders himself, and now it's gone to his family, and I'm doing what I can to help them because they obviously haven't been involved in this and they don't know how it works. Even the convention stuff, they don't really know how it works. So I'm trying to help them as much as I can, and I'll always be there when they need me. And I'm going to try and help with like scripts if we do any new series. I'm going to try and help with comics and this and the other and everything else, to the point that they can literally click and do things really easily. And if I choose to, at that point, step away, then I hope that it'll be at a point where it's really easy for them to keep it going themselves. But they're like my family anyway. They're like my second family, so we're going to be close no matter what. We're always going to see each other. It's just this is business. So.
Business.
Business, yeah.
And how's all your stuff going? On a separate note, all of the Matt Lobster side of things.
It's in rebranding. It's in rebranding currently. I don't have as much of a budget as like anyone does, so I'm trying to work out the lowest budget thing I can do with the best return that will lead to a bigger project, and so on and so on and so on and so on and so on. Find something that does slightly okay, so I can do the nice thing that I really want to do, and so on and so on.
Do you have any advice for young YouTubers? Do you work at the same time as doing this, or are you full-time YouTuber?
This is the advice I would give in that respect. All the big YouTubers will say that they didn't have a job and they went straight into YouTube. Here's what I will say about that. They went into YouTube when it was young, and they were the first ones there, and they only get bigger because they were the first ones in the door. And they didn't have a job at the time because they were either 19, 18, or they were students, so they're able to do it, and somehow it got traction. Then they came out of university or wherever it was they were doing, and they still had the income because they had, during that time, they've been blogging or doing anything, and they've been doing their projects, they've been doing filmmaking at university and just using it to make their projects. And it worked. But if you're going into it now, there are so many people you are competing against. So remember, if you want to do something, do it for yourself, do it because you want to do it, but also remember that you need to live, so get a job if you need to. Be realistic. If this is not working out for you, then find something that does, because no one wants to be that guy going, my band's just this close from taking off. We just need a couple more years in the garage and we're going to get... No one's looked at our mixtapes or anything, but we are this close to making it. So have a backup plan, but love what you do. Yeah.
Thank you, Matt. That was, I think, probably the best advice we've had all day, even though it is only 1 p.m. There we go.